So, is it really him? When I saw Takaba alive, I was like, how the hell is this man still alive? I mean, he should have also died in his battle against Kenjaku. But after recalling about Higuruma's case, I was like, fine, whatever. And then we see him talking to someone, and I'm honestly surprised by who he was. Although we do not see his exact face, but his hairstyle is extremely similar to him. I mean, is Kenjaku really alive? Maybe it really is the manga where the villain wins. Also, is it possible that Kenjaku is alive because of Takaba? I mean, if we take into account his ridiculous reality warping curse technique, it should be possible, I think. Like, maybe he brought him back to life. I think we will have to see in the next chapter as to who it is and how it is possible if it really is Kenjaku. There were also other interesting things in this chapter, like Shoko and Megumi having a funeral for Megumi's sister. Though I don't know why we only see two of them. Like, at least there should have been others from school, or at the very least, Yuji should have been present there. Like, with only two of them being present, it makes it kind of less important to me. Though it is quite funny how Shoko says she doesn't really believe in afterlife, but still says that Gojo should have let her handle Kito's dead body. Which, if you think about it now, that was the reason for this huge culling game scenario. Because if Kinjaku had not taken over Geto's body, it would have been extremely difficult for him to pull all the stuff that he did in this timeline. Also, I have one big question, like, what happened to Gojo's body? Like, are we not having a funeral for him? I know that Kage hates him, but it's a bit illogical for it to make sense from story's perspective. Like, he was pretty important in the Jujutsu society. It was honestly great seeing Shoko giving up smoking, probably because of how all the things have turned out to be. Like, with only her being remaining alive from the squad of Yaga, Gojo, Geto, and Shoko, as the other three have died. Also, it is revealed that Tengen was found within the remains of Sukuna after he was torn out of Megumi's body. And it seems like as long as those remains of Sukuna are preserved, the barrier within Japan will not collapse. Old man Gakuganji also tells us that the young does not need to worry about the barriers, and that barrier of Tengen will hold on for at least a while. I honestly think this was a wasted opportunity to expand on the barriers a lot more, like how sorcerers are trying to put countermeasure for it would have been nice to see. It really is a huge letdown for me to just let it go like this. It was nice seeing Maki go back and tell the reincarnated sorcerers that they should flee to Tokyo if they don't want to be hunted down by the Jujutsu Society of this current modern era. It shows that Maki does not see them as complete strangers and is even willing to give them the opportunity to flee from the eyes of Jujutsu Society. Also, it seems like Higuruma is going to be working fully as a Jujutsu sorcerer from now on. We also see how Megumi has come to see Hana so he could apologize for what he had done, saying he will be her right hand from now on. And Megumi sure was out of words when Hana said, "Is she hearing wedding bells?" Maybe if there is a time skip in the last chapter, we might see them married. Who knows? So, at the last part, we see Yuji, Megumi, and Nobara have got a final mission, which to me, considering that this is a final mission and it is also in the last two chapters of the Jujutsu Kaisen manga, it is definitely very underwhelming. Last, I will say that it was a better chapter compared to the last one, where we mostly got information dumps and that was it. But in another way, this chapter should have been the last week's chapter for me. And honestly, and finally, the last chapter of JJK awaits us at the end. We will find out how this journey ends, or if there is a sequel. Who knows?